Yes, sir.
I like to ask people at this point what the meaning of keep it aloha means to them. Like in their life, how do
Okay.
you keep it aloha?
All right. So for me, keep it aloha means action. And that's something that I saw my tutu and my mom both walk out a lot. Um, One of the things that my tutu would always tell me is that being Hawaiian is not something, some construct of like your blood quantum or what you know or necessarily how much knowledge. Not that those things are bad, those are obviously great things to attain. But one day, Hawaiian's not gonna look like anything. That's just a fact. The fact is, the look of Hawaiian is already very, very varied, you know?
Look at us.
Right, exactly. And, she looked full Hawaiian. She was very dark hair, dark features. But me, 3 generations removed from her, looks like me. My daughters are also Hawaiian, We're not getting more full-blooded Hawaiians in the world. So the look, right? The face value of this person holds aloha in them can only come from action. So if your action is to care for others, to try to teach that in the people that you are tasked with leading in your life, and give that mana'o onto them, into your children, into your friends, into your family group, and that action goes back out into the world, right? Because the root of the word is love, essentially, right? Like that's the bigger meaning of that word, is love. And it's part of my namesake that comes from my family line, And love sometimes is not just flowery and all ooey gooey rom-com.
Sunshine and rainbows.
Sometimes love is being the only friend that will tell the truth in the room. Sometimes love is being the only person who will do us right when nobody else is looking, But a lot of times what love is just being the person that's willing to be out in the front and try to lead and set an example of like, we can do this. We're all here together. And try to be one of the ones that's ignoring all the noise. Because every stage and phase of life, no matter what you do, there's going to be a lot of noise. There's going to be a lot of noise telling you can't do it. There's going to be a lot of noise telling you you're not good enough. There's going to be a lot of noise telling you you're great. You got to kind of try to cut through the noise to the actual love. Because the same way that verb works as a positive, there's going to be a lot of people that use that term to tell you they aloha you, and they don't, So cutting through the noise to find out through the experience of action what aloha is. And you learn that through all those different actions. You learn that through heartbreak. You learn that through wins, you learn that through perseverance. You learn that from service, and thinking of others before yourself. You learn that in all those things. So when you see it, aloha, in its realest form, no matter how much flour somebody like put around it, if they're not actually aloha, seen you before, bro. Seen you before, And you can just smile and keep it moving. But at the same time, like, I just feel like action in all its many facets of aloha is what is going to keep what Hawaiian looks like alive. Because if we can have a framework around aloha, right? And aloha can maintain alive. It doesn't matter the melanin changes or facial structure that happens in the mixing of all us Hawaiians throughout the world, right? There's still going to be aloha there that's recognizable as soon as you see it. As soon as you see that aloha, you're like, that's aloha, bro.
Yeah.
That brother get plenty aloha. And I feel like you can already see that, right? There's people you meet them, you're like, brah, that brother is aloha, bro. I like that
It's one
guy,
of the best
that chick.
compliments
Yeah.
you could get if somebody
Yeah.
tells
Oh,
tells you
sister,
that.
she's so major, and people can feel it off you. So yeah, in that very long-winded statement, it's action to me, And it's, the way I like to say it is, it's the work that never finishes, right? There's no arrival point.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't get to like you don't get to do X amount and then one day I am the aloha guru now.
I
And
achieved aloha.
I
Life is
achieved
good.
maximum aloha, you know? It's something where it's like you have to understand that you're constantly in the practice of that and doing better at it and making more of it. Otherwise, you just revert.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like the healing, you know, the practice of healing and going through that stuff. You never get to just give up on it and put it down.
Yeah.
The work is always going to continue, but it's good work, you know? The initial lift might be heavy, you know? The initial lift might be heavy of how do I put action behind aloha? You know, that initial lift might be real hard. But as you do the work more, it's going to get
It becomes a lifestyle.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Same way, like, okay, you go on a diet that eventually ends, it fades away. If you do something and you turn into a lifestyle, then just the same way you wake up to brush your teeth, you're waking up and choosing aloha.
Yep.
It's just innate. It's something that it's like autonomous at some point.
Real talk, bro.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
all. Yeah. I 100% feel that.
Yeah. That's why I believe in some ways that, because like your tutu said, like Hawaiian's not going to have a look, is that we need to make it into a lifestyle that when people see us, they're like, that person is Hawaiian. That person, or at least living in the Hawaiian ways, that person is living with aloha. Because you could be the darkest Hawaiian looking person and you're not doing anything that's aloha,
Right.
or you're not doing anything that contributes to our lahui, then I'm going to cut myself out there before I get canceled again. But you guys know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's just action. And I think it's hard because everybody has a different definition of what that action should be and where it should lead. And that's where leadership and talking has to come into play. But nobody ever grew or got anywhere by tearing down what someone else is trying to build.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the age-old phrase of you are never going to hear somebody that's doing better than you turn around and say, hey, you suck. Nobody that's doing better than you, that's ahead of you or where you want to be or achieving or treating folks how you want to treat them, they're never going to turn back at you. It's always the people that are next to you or below you that are saying, you suck, you know?
Mhm.
And if we can train more people to try to want to grow others out of that, especially people within our lahui,
Mhm.
to do that, great. But
Mhm.
again, people got to want to.